for the people.
There it is. All righty. Well, we are on. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. That was your phone, probably because I just tagged you. All right. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Well, y'all know who this is coming in. Look, two of the first two people. I see my sister-in-law on here. Ty Jackson. Hey. Man, y'all coming in pretty quick. My goodness. Well, first of all, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Many of you all we have not seen, we have not spoken to since the beginning of the new year. You can't hear me? How's that? Well, gotta make sure y'all hear me. Hold on. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure. Hey.
So it might be just his.
Okay, yeah, that could be just you. So I'm gonna need you to adjust your volume because I'm getting feedback that everyone can hear me. And yeah, so we're gonna move forward because look like a bunch of y'all coming in. Hey, Auntie Val from Texas. Well, I mean from Jacksonville. Look at me talking about from Texas Bay. Look who's watching.
Hey, Daddy.
My boy Slayton.
Old Slate.
What's up? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. All right. Well, wonderful. So they say they hear us. So you all see the subject matter on the live today. So we're just going to spend a few moments really talking about that, sharing a little bit of our story, I guess. Oh, yeah. Y'all see who here? There go Mia. All right, so hopefully she will lean her head over while I do it. Lean my head over. So we could just really talk to you guys. This is my cousin Cherie from Atlanta.
Hey, Cherie.
Yep, baby girl is doing just fine. She is growing. We thank you all so much for the love. Yeah, text messages, inboxes, phone calls, all that good stuff. Dallas is doing absolutely great. She's phenomenal, and we thank and bless God for that. But anyway, not to prolong the time or hold you any longer than what we want to, but Mia really had an urgency tonight to come on live and really take a few moments of our personal time, our downtime, to really talk to you, our friends, our families, our partners socially, through social media, just to encourage you. I guess she'll explain here a little bit what she meant by that and why she got such a niche to want to come on live and really talk to you all. But seriously, in the last 24, 48 hours, our lives have literally been injected and changed by someone or some couple, and there is truly a need to really encourage young couples. All right, now if you've been in the game some 10, 15, 20 years, then this is probably not for you. You probably could be helping us. But this is for those of us that's just starting out. And when I say just starting out, you can be in 5 years and you still fit this particular category because you're still learning yourself. And as a couple, hey, Sabrina, we just talked about you not 5 minutes ago.
I'll text you.
Yeah, we're going to inbox you because we got some things coming up that we want to talk about. Speaking of, I think that'll be a good icebreaker. February 21st through the 23rd. Those of you that are in the Orlando, Sanford, DeLand, Deltona, New Smyrna, Port Orange, Daytona.
The U.S. of A.
Yeah, what's my other surrounding cities?
Everybody.
Ormond Beach, Palm Coast, Jacksonville. Listen, you want to be at this conference that is coming to the city of Daytona Beach. Again, that's February 21st through the 23rd. The theme is entitled Unrestricted. It is a women's conference, but I promise you there will be something instrumental for all genders and for all ages. The grind has been much, and it is still moving and going forward progressively. And I'm excited. I'm really excited. Look who would come on live. I want you to have that same energy when we invite you on our live. Evangelist, prophetess Douglas.
That's my sissy.
All right. But seriously, I want to talk just a little bit about that conference, because God is really, really, really speaking as we get closer. I guess I should have expected his voice to be crystal clear when we stepped over into 2020, because that is exactly what we prayed for. That is exactly what we believe. I want you to tell the people, though, without going into detail, because we want them to show up. But without going into detail, really share with them, I would say, your heart about this conference is such a necessity. What is it about this Women's Congress that is such a necessity? Why here in Daytona, and why now for such a time as this?
First of all, hello everybody. Happy New Year to those who we haven't seen. As he stated before, this conference it's really not even geared simply towards
Lord. I'm excited. I'm
towards women. I want to first of all say any man is welcome to come and help us with this particular conference. But the reason behind it is, especially in Daytona, I hadn't seen any type of conference in our area that really targets women and the real things that women really do go through and what we talk about. We talk about these things, like we say, the hair salon talk type thing or the barbershop talk, that type of stuff. It really doesn't go on in a conference. It's something that we go back to our hotel room and we'll talk about it there, but we don't necessarily show that in our actual conference. And I just want to make sure that this particular area, because that's where God has placed me at for ministry at this time, I just want to make sure that we are all covered, and we know that we have some people that are right there based in Daytona that are real, that are transparent, and also to make sure that my goal, I told my husband today, if I have literally one person come back and tell me that their life has been changed, that they have crunk up in their life to be available to God and just want to be a part of ministry, be a part of a church, go to church consistently, that their life was just changed in a positive way. That's all I'm looking for. That there's a delayed spirit in the city of Daytona, and so I'm bringing outside people to help me with breaking that spirit that we have in Daytona, where it feels like everything is kind of lax and we're just not on it. Just I get to it in a little bit, and I'll do this and I'll do that, and we kind of never get to it. So this is to empower the women, to help them find their voice. Like I have found mine. I thank God for mentorship, as such as Pastor Holman, Apostle Bradley, Even my little big sister Ashley, who's on here, you know, those persons really are having a huge impact with me right now, finding out who I am. And I can't even take away from the fact that my husband, he's pushed me so much that
That's me. That's me.
he's pushed me so much when it comes to ministry, not only just finding my voice, but knowing who I am in Christ. He's definitely helped me. And that's what this conference is about. We want to make sure that when you leave, you know who you are, you know the job that you have, and you actually get on top of it. Oh yeah, and my girl Tia.
Oh yes, our confidence coach, who helps us unpack who we are, right? Yes. Helping us to dig down into the recesses.
The recesses. When she say that word, we just lose it every time. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely, Tia Crockett. I didn't leave you out on purpose. I love you, girl. But it's, you know, even with her empowerment retreats that she's had and being there and being around other women, one of the young ladies that was there, I keep looking at her posts and I'm like, Nakenya, when you gonna slow down? But I'm glad that she's really on it right now. And if anybody know her, you know that, you know, she's definitely her Pain the Purpose. Poetry is what she does. I'm just gonna let y'all know she's gonna be there. I got my girl. I had to, but that's pretty much what we're gonna be looking for or looking forward to for the conference. Listen,
this conference is going to be 3 days. All right, it's a weekend event. I just saw your other sister come in.
Big sister.
Amen. That's going to start our conference off on that Friday night. We have a gospel recording artist. You heard what I said. Gospel recording artist. Her single is already out. Yeah. You can go right now and purchase her single. That is in the person of Sheena Livingston.
Yeah, girl.
She's going to be in the city. I'm telling you, the worship leader of worship leaders.
The all time.
Bar none.
Absolutely.
We can put her.
Anybody.
Listen, on any stage, state or national, and she about to do what it do. You hear me? She has a phenomenal ministry.
Yes.
She has an even greater testimony, which makes what she does more profitable. And that's really what we want to talk about just a little bit on tonight is our testimony. Now, with that being stated, as Mia already said, I do push her. I push her a lot. Because we were both raised in the denomination that we're in now, which is Primitive Baptist. We saw coming up powerful women that was not given the ability or the grace to be on stages that I currently have my wife on and will continue to allow her to be on. Powerful women. When I say powerful women, I'm talking about women that can pray or that could pray, God bless their souls, the walls down. That could out-preach preachers. Yes, we're talking about you. Yes, we're talking about you. But they just had phenomenal ministries. They had the oil of God, but they did not have a platform. And unfortunately, it is that mishap. Because I really believe it was a mishap. It was a missed opportunity, a very valuable opportunity, but a missed opportunity for the body of Christ within our denomination. And now we find ourselves trying to redeem time that we had at our disposal all the time. And I believe where God is really taking our reformation, where God is really transitioning us right now, is to a place where he is allowing women to be free in their worship, to be free in their calling, to be free in their gift, with the understanding that just like anybody, they still need a head, right? Still need a covering. Right. But we're not so intimidated by the oil that's on these women. And if you know, like I know, shoot, I told my wife, listen, if you want to preach every Sunday, preach. Because I've been called the pastor anyway, which has a lot to do with administration. not so much as the gift of preaching. Now, God has called me to preach, and God knows any and every opportunity I get, I will preach.
And he can preach.
Well, God bless you. Thank you. But he's also called me to the administrative part of being a leader. And that's what makes me a pastor. If you want to preach, preach. Here is the opportunity. Here is the stage. And I, as your husband and also as your pastor, I cover you. I cover you. So no matter where you go, you are covered, you're protected, and you know that you have at least one person that is praying and interceding on your behalf. Listen, I'm telling you, February 21st through the 23rd, you want to be in the city of Daytona. You want to be there. Friday night is going to be power-packed with praise and worship. Yep. Saturday, oh my God, I cannot even begin to tell you. I'm not telling them the specifics. I'm just giving them the itinerary right now. Mm-hmm. Saturday, OMG. Saturday is going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Beginning at 8 o'clock that morning. Phenomenal. We have 3 women of God that is coming. That's just going to blow our mind and transform our lives. I just believe it. All right. So if you're in our area, please like, comment, share. The flyer will be out this week. When you see it, share it, like it. Let us know that you've seen it, but also share it. All right. Because it would definitely be a blessing to your life. Women reaching women, women empowering women. Women knowing their positions in ministry and really fulfilling those areas, carrying them out. Carrying them out. I think that is very important. But I see you looking with your looking self.
What's up, Coach?
That's our coach. Absolutely. That's our coach, Teal Crockett. There's going to be so many opportunities to network. There's going to be so many great people who have already tapped into their potential and will be available for one-on-ones, to speak with individuals who are still unsure about what they're supposed to be doing or where their purpose lies in ministry. And when I say ministry, please hear me. I'm not talking about in any one specific church.
Right.
Trust me. The church will still go on. The church will never be lacking. God always have somebody, but you got to make sure that your gift is profitable both in and outside of the 4 walls. And this is what this conference is all about. This is what this conference is all about. So as she said, fellas, hey, I tell you this, my wife ain't going too many places that I don't know where she going. I'm trying to figure out, I want to know what they talking about and all of that. So if they going to give us an opportunity finally to let us in on some of this stuff that they talking about, I'm all in. I'm going to be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to be all in because I want to get to a place where I know their language, which now allows me to transition into the real reason she wants to come in. Over this past weekend, I believe it was on yesterday when we got ready to go out to eat.
All right, Black.
When we got ready to go out to eat on yesterday, I asked Mia a very genuine question, and I wanted a real, truthful answer to it. At the start of 2019, we made a goal, we made an effort, and we rolled out a plan to do better with our quality time. Ministry for the both of us had just grown beyond measure. And what we found was during those times where we were executing in ministry, we were missing out on each other. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. I want them same hearts and lights that I saw at the beginning of this when y'all saw our faces and just wanted to say, hey, I want them same loves and likes. Ministry for us had become so overwhelming that we lacked the support of each other, of embracing one another, of having that intimate time with each other. And so we made a genuine effort in 2019 to renew, restore, and secure that any time we had available to make for each other, that we were going to do that. And we weren't going to put things, people, not even rest, because God knows we needed it, right? There were many times where we just wanted to lay down and just thank God that we had a moment that we were able to rest. And in those moments, what we discovered is that our lives and our marriage was better. It became better. It grew more passionate and congruent. There was a line of symmetry that was built. Not only symmetry, but synergy that was built from us just being able to spend that quality time together. And as a man, for my wife to tell me that she felt like we did a good job. And it starts with me because I'm the head. So I had to show forth the effort. And I believe, without speaking for her, I'm gonna let her really share, what's on her heart about this and why she felt like it's so important for us to just really get on here, show our face, and really encourage other young couples that's just like us, that's in ministry in some way, shape, or form. Because it doesn't always have to be the pulpit. Ministry does not start or end in the pulpit. There's a lot of things that you that are watching us tonight are doing that you don't really even know how much of an impact it makes on the lives of other people.
Right. Y'all can tell I'm not the social one. So what was put on my heart to come on and say, as he said, being young and in ministry, we thought we really came into the marriage knowing what to do for one another. We've known each other literally, when I say from the ages of 6 and 9, we have known each other from 6 and 9. And
Tim, don't get on here showing out. I just want to put that out there.
Look at aggravation down here. We've known each other for years, and so knowing each other for years, and he was in ministry first, of course, and I've been there for him, but I just didn't know how to do that when it came down to our marriage. And shout out to my pastor, Anthony J. Brown, who just came on. I'm a huge product of his as well. So I love you, and I thank you so much as well for your encouragement and allowing me to be who I am at all times in ministry. So I love you. So when it came down to our marriage, the first year, it was rough. It was really, really rough, y'all. We got married in the year of 2016 in October. January 14th, which is coming up, he was actually called to Greater New Zion and Daytona Beach, Florida.
3 months.
A whole 3 months later, he is now called to pastor, and our lives, it just tanked completely. We literally, the very first year of our marriage, we did not go on a date until almost 6.5, 7 months.
And that was at a convention.
We did not even go on a date or have one-on-one time until, it was almost 6.5, 7 months before we had alone time. And the ministry for him had taken off really fast with him being called to pastor. Then with his job, my job, it's like he was getting off of work, going straight to Daytona. I'm getting off of work, coming home and taking care of the kids. We had a household full of kids at that time as well. So I'm coming home, taking care of the kids. And, it was just really rough. It really, really was rough, and it was tough. But I went into his office a couple months ago, and I told him I apologized because God had revealed to me that I had hindered him in his ministry, but he didn't release everything to me at that time. So I went to him one Sunday morning right before service. I apologized to him. We prayed and we went on into service, and just tonight God released why I had hindered him. And the reason that I hindered him was because the mindset that I had was the fact that he was called to pastor and I simply wasn't. But the thing is that they knew about him. They didn't know about me. And so when you look at young couples in ministry, especially pastoring or just ministers as well, we have to learn how to be able to be there and help and support one another. Had I actually been there and been on top of things like I am right now at that time and supported him the way that I know best to support him and been there by his side like I normally am, because I did lack support with him that very first year. I was not as vocal. I did not care what was happening or what was going on, simply because the way I felt was we're in our first year of marriage and already my husband is gone. Like, this is my life. Really? That's what I got married for, me to have to deal with the husband who you got all of this going on and you don't have any time for me at home. And so it was really chaotic at that point in time. But when the Holy Spirit spoke tonight and let me know, this is the reason that you actually hindered his ministry, and not only his, but mine as well, because we both could have been further than where we are. We're now at the point of where we were supposed to be already 3 years ago. God showed me years ago that he was going to pastor. So he had already prepared me for him pastoring. It was just me being selfish because it happened when it happened. And so don't miss the signs of when God is actually doing something, not only for you or for your partner, because he's going to equip you and he's going to build you and he's going to prepare you for where it is that not only you are going to go, but where your partner is going to go as well. And if you are equally yoked, my God, if you are equally yoked,
ain't nobody gonna say nothing tonight.
You got to be equally yoked. If you are equally yoked, again, guess what? He ain't going nowhere without me. I can't go nowhere without him. And so, just making sure that we we come in being young and we feel like he was called. I don't have to be there. This and the other. It's not my responsibility to be there. But I guarantee you, if you're there and you are attentive and you really have a voice and a hand in the ministry that he has going on, I don't know any man that doesn't want their wife to support them. I don't know any wife who doesn't want their husband to support them. And so, and that just alone, again, I missed that. I missed a grand opportunity to push him more than what I should have been. However, now can't nobody beat me pushing him whatsoever. And I literally went through that year of doing that, of just I was not encouraging him. I was not motivating him. I wasn't doing any of that. This is the type of stuff that y'all gonna get at the conference. But I wasn't doing any of that because I felt I was really, really hurt. I was hurt. I was feeling some type of way that God would allow me to finally get married. And let me even say, we both was comfortable where we were. I was living an alternative lifestyle with a woman. I was quite okay. I was really good, and he was living his life, and so we were really okay. And that's what really blew my mind, is that I took off my life for this, when all along I really should have been looking at it more spiritually. Pastor Brown tells us all the time, don't look at it with your carnal eye. Always make sure that you got your third eye open, because God is always going to show you exactly what it is that he's doing in your life. And so due to that reason of me blocking my own third eye, I was so into myself of not wanting, of wanting him home, of wanting to create this marriage, of wanting to be able to blossom more and be what I felt like we should be with everybody else, and it just didn't work.
Well, let me share this, because you've heard the woman side of it, and I'm glad that you mentioned that. But let me also share
Hey, sister.
the male side of it for those of us that are in ministry as well, because she did mention something very significant in stating our first year. So to me, I had to come to the point where I had to admit that it was really okay. And watch what I'm about to say. It was really okay that she was selfish about a relationship that she was just starting the first year. Because if you heard her say 3 months into our marriage, and I was already married to another. Because when you begin to pastor a church, you literally are tied, connected, married to that ministry. For those of you who have calls on your life, y'all ain't gonna say nothing. But truth be told, we've missed a lot of good opportunities because of the fact we were so headstrong and head in to our ministry that we could not see the forest for the trees. And at the end of the day, God had to remind me, wait a minute, sir. Although I've called you to preach and I've called you to pastor, when you got married, that became your first ministry. So there's no way you can teach and train and develop my people and you don't have home secured. If your wife is at home at night crying and you don't even know she's crying because you are here, there, and everywhere, in every city, in every other state, doing what you claim is my will, he says, no, that's not my order. That's not my order. And I'm not the God of confusion. I am the God of peace. I do not operate, nor do I orchestrate confusion. Your first ministry is home. And I had to learn that, so much so that in 2019, and I'm grateful that I'm able to share this. We were talking about it, like I said on yesterday. In 2019, I, Jermaine Fuller, took no revival. Not one revival did I take in 2019. Yes, I had some assignments that, had me go to other churches in cities and other states. However, all of those assignments were one-time appointments, meaning even if I had to fly, I came in the day before, I did what I had to do, and that night, at the latest, that next morning, I was right back out at home. In 2019, we really focused on securing home, and we discovered a lot about our house that we did not know. We have now a 14-year-old son who at the time was 13 that opened up to us and began to talk to us about some things that just absolutely blew our mind, that had us up in our bed sometime at 11 and 12 o'clock at night saying, oh my God. All of this is going on, but we did not know it. Well, for me, I did not know it because I was so focused on the preaching ministry of my life. She did not know it because she was so focused on the distance in our lives. And so there was a great void there, and we had to find a way to close that void. And the way that we were able to do that is just what we're talking about now with these young couples. You have to make time for each other. Your first ministry is always at home first. You got to make sure that intimate time, that quality time, and even that spiritual time, because don't get me wrong, if you can't live in the spirit under your own roof, I don't care how many cities or states you go to. No, it should follow you from your home front.
Right.
And so we've learned to create an atmosphere and an environment where God can dwell and dwell richly in our home. There are a lot of ideas that we get, not from seminars that we attend, not from conferences that we attend, but from simply locking hand in hand, getting down on our knees and praying together. In 2019, we made a commitment to pray together more. And we found that our lives was a lot greater, that our ministry continues to blossom and bloom. And now in those moments where I do have to leave, because don't get me wrong, I still had to be away from home, because that is the part of pastoring that as a wife, she now understands. She now understands. Sometimes I'm leaving on Wednesday and I don't get back to until Monday of the following week, only to be home Monday night, Tuesday night, and do it all over again, leaving on Wednesday. But she understands now. And I think the reason why she's able to understand now is because in my downtime, I made time for Mia. Not everything else, not my homeboys. And I still have my homeboys. But guess what? They understand. They understand because I talk to them. They understand because I show them. I show them who's priority. She's priority. My home is priority. Making sure our lives are secure, but also that we have communication. There is nothing like communication in a relationship.
Absolutely.
And we have to make sure that we have that. Now, there are some other things, don't get me wrong, because we're not the perfect couple. There are still some other things we are yet working on. Now that we have that quality time, okay, I'm not going to say mastered, but now that we have it in an okay spot, we're able to work on some other things. Now, let me be transparent for a minute, because in our first year of marriage, it literally took her packing up one suitcase and going out the door. I'm going to say that again. Packing up one suitcase and going out the door. I'll never forget it. I remember it like it was yesterday, because I was laying on the couch watching something.
Football.
Was it football? Was it football season?
Always football.
Okay. Well, I got to believe it, because she the one walked out. But seriously, it had become just that overwhelming. Just that overwhelming. She walked out, like calling it quits, done. Because she did not feel like there was anything that she could do that would make me any better than who I'm already am. We had it was a serious issue. It was catastrophic. It was overwhelming. It was mind-boggling. It was confusing a lot of times, to realize that we put our energy, our first year of marriage, in many of the wrong places. Right. I believe that's our real encouragement to you all today. We're not going to try to keep you, but we do want to submit to you that you need to keep that line of communication open. Talk with your partner.
At all times.
Talk with your partner.
Good, bad.
Understand what's going on with your partner.
Yes.
Spiritually, socially, emotionally, physically. There are still physical needs that need to be attended to as well. And you can't be so tired, Lord help the church. You can't be so tired that you don't cater to those physical needs. You can't be so tired that you don't cater to those emotions. You can't be so tired that you don't cater to those social needs.
Right.
Because all of it plays a part. We understand that we are two whole people. We did not come into our relationship broken. There is no 50-50 in our relationship. I'm a whole person. So when I come, I bring 100 of me. When she comes, she brings 100 of her. There's nothing missing. There's nothing lacking. And so there should not be anything broken. So if it is broken, it's only because we made it to be.
Right.
We either overlooked something, or we tried to go around it, or brush it under the rug, whatever it was. All right? Whatever it was. Where's Princess Dallas? Sleep, and we thank God.
Sleep in her slumber.
And we thank God. But listen, y'all, I wish we could talk a little bit more. Unfortunately, I did not charge my phone. And so my phone is about to go dead at any moment here. But I think we'll do this again. We'll definitely do this again so that we can continue to encourage young couples. I pray that you all were blessed with what you heard so far with this team. All right. Yeah, we are a power couple.
That's what the people tell us all the time.
We are a power couple.
That's what it is.
But I celebrate this girl. I love her dearly. And yeah, I'm her biggest cheerleader. So quite naturally, I'm going to always put her on a platform. If I'm on the platform, she's on the platform. When I shake hands, she shake hands. When I make deals, she make deals. We're in it together. And whatever she decides to do, before she sends out any solicitation letter to any business, I am going to be the first to sow into it. Period. I am the first to sow into everything that she's doing because I believe in her just that much. And as she blow up, because we're connected, then I have no choice but to blow up.
None whatsoever.
I don't have no choice. All right. We love y'all. Let me see. We talk about this when you took me to that god awful Jaguars game. If you could remember that conversation. Yes, Auntie. I do remember that, and I'm glad that you remember that. See, girl, I've been talking about you. Told you. Even my auntie in Jacksonville know that. Thank you so much. I'm serious. Thank you all so much.
Really quick, just don't give up on what you don't understand. Don't give up on what you don't understand. Make sure that you have a full-fledged understanding of what's going on, especially when it comes down to marriage and ministry. It is really, really important. Ty, we love you too. It is really, really important that you understand your partner and what they're going through. And so for me, there's a lot that does go into pastoring. And although, my father was a pastor, uncles and friends and all of that, I get to see a lot behind the scenes of what they actually deal with, but it's still nothing like being married to one. And so make sure before you call it quits, before you do walk out like I did, just make sure that you have communicated and have an understanding of what's going on. Make sure your partner knows how you feel about what's going on as well.
Talk it out.
Because a lot of times it's stuff that they don't understand, especially if you got someone who is outside of your religion, outside of your faith, and you're bringing them in. It's going to be fair foreign to them. And so just talk it out. Make sure you talk and say something.
Get you a mentor with your silly self. You trying
definitely get a mentor.
Figure all this stuff out and you ignorant to a lot of it.
Definitely get a mentor. I have 2 mentors right now. I got to meet with one tomorrow. Y'all pray for me.
Me too.
And
I have 2.
They are phenomenal and I love them to death. I would share who they are, but I'm a little selfish, But
yeah,
I have
seriously,
some great mentors. So get you someone that's going to mentor you through that process and give you the realness of it.
Absolutely.
Someone who's actually, and it's better to have someone who's had your background as well. One of the mentors that I have, she actually came from Primitive Baptist and now she's transitioned to non-denominational, and the other one is non-denominational. So they're able to really see me for me and what it is that we deal with.
And fellas, listen to your wife. Listen, we're 5 years in, 2 years dating, 3 years married. But check this out. Just this past weekend, and I'm done because this is going to shut off. Just this past weekend, my wife sent me a link to take this test that I didn't even know exist. The 5 love languages or something. All right. So if I'm taking a test on 5 love languages.
And he did.
And I'm going to tell you why I did it. Because if she sent it to me, then that means one of these love languages At least one I'm missing.
The charger.
At least one I'm missing.
Should be right there.
It's okay to know that you are missing something if you're going to work towards it. If you're going to work towards it. And because I'm so for real and serious about my marriage, because again, my marriage is my first ministry. And if I get this right, I know I can get the church stuff right. If I get this right, I know.
I was trying to get it.